Good morning. My name is Dean Long, and I'm applying for the position of elementary principal in Gresham-Barlow schools. The purpose of this video is to introduce myself to you and to give you a response to some questions I was sent here as you consider candidates for these positions. The first question asks about my interest in this position and my skills and abilities that I would bring to this role. As you can see on my resume, I've had a long career in public education. I began teaching in Beaverton and then moved to a small Southwest Washington County school district called Gaston and was an assistant principal out there at the middle high school level. And it was a great place for me to learn, and in a small place you do everything. So I just got a tremendous experience base out there as a young administrator. And then moved to a larger school district, North Clackamas, where I knew there would be greater upward mobility. And I was a middle school assistant principal in North Clackamas for 4 years, and then an elementary principal for 15 years in North Clackamas. I was at Mount Scott Elementary for many years, Oregon Trail Elementary for many years, Concord Elementary, and then I retired out of Happy Valley Elementary in 2014. When I retired, I was offered a position with a nonprofit called Junior Achievement, and you may be familiar with them. They have a well-known fifth grade program called BizTown that students in my schools had been involved with for many years. They had developed a new middle school program on personal finance called JA Finance Park, and they wanted me to go into schools and sell the program, if you will, introduce the concepts to teachers, train parent volunteers, and schedule student attendance into JA Finance Park. And I did that for a year. And then I got a call from Warner Pacific University offering me a faculty position in the teacher education department there. For about the last 6 or 7 years of my administrative career as a principal in North Clackamas, I had been an adjunct, just one course at a time in the evenings in the MAT program at Warner. And so they knew of me and knew that I had retired. And a faculty position came open and I accepted it, and I've been there for the last 5 years. And that's going very well. I enjoy teaching at Warner very much. I'm working with pre-service teachers. I teach in both the undergrad program and the Master of Arts in Teaching program, and then we have a full-time MAT program in the summer as well. I also supervise student teachers, so I get out in buildings, which is fun. But the reason I'm interested in going back to being an elementary principal is I'm not working directly frontline with students and teachers and parents in a school community every day. And that's the work that I miss and the work that I love. I am training the next generation of teachers to do that, and that's wonderful, but I'm not doing that work myself. The Oregon State Legislature just recently has changed the law allowing people who are currently retired to work back if they choose. So it's not been possible for me to do this before, and it is now. So I would love to go back into a building and do the work that I know and the work that I love. So that's my motivation for applying. The skills and abilities that I bring, I think if you talked with people that I've worked with over the years, they would tell you that I genuinely love this work. I think it shows when you're in a school with me. I love to build teams. I'm a good communicator. I like to have fun. I believe the rapport in my buildings was good. I'm very, very committed to student success, and they get that sense from me. Even doing student management, the kids leave my office knowing that Mr. Long wants me to be successful. This is not personal. Whatever consequence they may experience, he wants me to do well, and he likes me as a student and as a person. So I think my genuine love for this work comes through if you were to talk to people. The second question asks about equity. And my experience has been when you begin a conversation about equity, it's important to distinguish the difference between equity and equality. And those are two different things. Equality is exactly that. Equal is same, and it's based on sameness. So everybody gets the same thing. Equity is based on need. And the best way that I've explained this to people in the past is if students are above grade level or at grade level or below grade level, in a true equity environment, the students that need the most help will get the most assistance. they'll get the most support to bring them up to where everybody else is. Consequently, the kids that don't need the help, they're already at grade level or above grade level, will not experience a great deal through an equitable situation. You can view equity as a standalone. We do equity, I don't know, Thursdays from 1:30 to 2 or whatever, or you can view equity as a part of the culture of our school. It's woven into everything we do. It's in every conversation we have. It's evident in every program that we have. You can certainly prioritize staffing. You can prioritize scheduling. You can prioritize budget to make sure that the kids who need the most help get the most help. So when we're designing and implementing school improvement plans, part of the lens, part of the conversation that we will consider all the time is how does this impact our neediest kids, and where is the equity for those kids in all of these plans? And it's evident in there. So I believe the most qualified teacher and instructor needs to be with the neediest student, and then staffing needs to support. It could be, classified staffing needs to support, under the direction of the teacher, the at or above grade level students. But I always prefer to have the most qualified, certified instructor with the neediest students. And then it's a matter of tracking. It's a lot of assessment and making sure that we have data that shows they're moving forward as results of our efforts. So to me, that's equity, getting the most support to where there's most need to bring them up to where everybody else is. The third question here has to do with a scenario where there's a bunch of little fires that pop up in the office at the same time. And that could happen. This sounds far-fetched, your question, and it's really not. The angry parent that's in the office, the first thing I would do is move that parent out of the main office and into my office. I think when a parent is upset enough to come to school, they want to see the principal. They're there on a mission. So I want to make sure they understand that I will be with them, they will get my attention, and I will listen to them. But when that call comes in the radio that there's a room clear, that's my absolute top priority. And I will tell the parent that. Student safety, always, every day, is my top priority. And I have an unsafe situation in the building right now. So I would usher that parent into my office and say, I'll be right back. They're going to feel satisfied about that because they know I have to come back there. They're sitting in my office. So I hope that has a couple of effects. I hope that cools the parent down a little bit and also gives them a chance to regroup and gather their thoughts. I will go deal with the room clear. And once that situation is clear, I'll notify the central office or have the teacher notify central office if that's part of the room clear protocol that we use. Then I will come back to the angry parent and I will listen. I'm not big on giving immediate response to an issue that I haven't heard both sides to. So I have kind of a 24-hour rule for myself and for my teachers. When a concern or communication comes in, I use 24 hours as a general rule of thumb. I will get back to you. I will call you. I will email you. You can come in and meet with me again, whatever. But we will respond to this in 24 hours. My experience with parents has been that they want to feel the principal is accessible, I can get to him or her, and they want to feel that the principal is responsive. If he or she says they'll get back to me, they will. So those two things diffuse about 90% of what parents are upset about. The supervisor calling would be the next thing. They have a message on my desk that they want to talk to me right away. As I leave for the room clear, I would have my secretary call my supervisor and explain, Dean's got an angry parent, and he's also got a room clear right now. He will call you back the minute both of those things are taken care of. And I know my supervisor will support and understand that because they want me to always have student safety at the top of my list. And they want me to deal with the parent at the building level as best I can. I have a pretty good track record of keeping things at the building level. And that's my job, is to see what I can work out at the building level before they get to the central office level. So I know my supervisor will understand that. The next thing here is there's a teacher that's been trying to get to me all day, and I get that. There are days where you just plain can't. There are fires that come up. But just like the supervisor that will understand, so will a teacher understand. They can see that Dean's doing a room clear. They can see Dean's in there with an angry parent. I will get back to them. I apologize for the inconvenience that our schedules have not connected, but I will get back to them. I have a lot of access to them because we're in the building together all day, every day, and I'll make sure that I get back to them right away. And then the last thing on my priority list would be the observations. I would apologize to the teachers because I know they prepared lessons specifically to have me watch. But I also know they write good lesson plans every day and that they too understand there are fires that crop up that we can't predict that need Dean's attention right now. And so I would have those rescheduled. So the angry parent in my office first, then go do the room clear, come back to the angry parent, have my secretary call my supervisor and explain. When I'm done with the angry parent, I would call my supervisor. I would apologize to the teacher who's been trying to get to me, make sure that we connect as soon as possible, and then reschedule the observations. In that order is what I would do. So I hope that helps give you an idea about how I think and how I do. I look forward to talking with you more, and I thank you for your time. Have a good day.